So I'm putting this quick video together, but sorry, it probably won't be very quick, but I'll make it as quick as I can. Putting this together because it seems like questions come up every now and then about how to replace the hooks on the Charger EXT, or how to replace the rope, or how to put a longer rope on. So instead of typing it out every so often, going to do this video, because this one my crank already has a longer rope in it. So it's long enough to get onto an old XO series bow. I replaced it, but you can see it still retracts the rope uh, pretty much all the way in. You can see I had it hooked before, so that's not a problem to do a longer rope. But I'm going to put these larger, much larger hooks, these 4x4, much heavier duty hooks, from the 4x4 Kocker, made by Dr Stirrup. So first I'm going to remove the blue caps. So I'm going to push pause, and I'm going to remove the caps because they take quite a bit of time, and then we'll cut to what I do next. Okay, so one blue cap is off so far. That was a 3/32 Allen wrench to remove those 3 screws. So I'm going to do the next one. Alright, so the blue caps are off, and now what we want to do is have the Charger EXT set in the release mode, so that release button is pushed down, and see it's free spools, it winds up on its own when you pull it back, so that's nice. So what the goal right now is I'm going to unwind it all the way until it stops, and then count the number of pre-wraps around each side spool. They should be even, and I'm going to use one of the handles to keep it spooled out. So I'm going to push pause, going to pull it out all the way. When I get to the end, which will be a little more than that, I'll put the handle in place, and then I will show what that looks like. So I need to pause the recording though, so I can have both hands free to do that. So okay, so right now you can see I got it pulled out until it stopped. Then I put the handle in place. The handle, once it's clicked in place, was able to rest against the jaws of the bench vise. So things are solid. It can't pull back on its own, and now I can loosen and count these number of pre-wraps that are on here. It's looking, I think I did 7 from before, and I did a full layer on each side is what it looks like. And then basically, since the handle is holding the pressure off of it, then I can loosen and pull out the rope from the end, because there will be no pressure on it, and then that's how I can loosen that end, pull that one end out, and then either replace the whole rope or replace the hook. So I'm going to get things loosened up, unwrapped and loosened up next. Okay, so you can see I got the rope fully loose now on each end there. I just pulled that free. I did have 7 wraps on each side, and you'll also see I have 2 crank handles. Helps me with my physical abilities and able to cock the crossbow back. It also makes this job nice, because then when I unspooled one, I was able to pull the handle to the other side and have both sides locked in place. But I did this once before with just one handle, so that's no problem. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a side based on the knot, because I got to undo one of the knots to be able to pull the rope out from one side and put on one of these heavy-duty hooks. So I'm going to pause it again. I'm going to pick one knot that I need to untie. I'd melted them before. If I have trouble, I might have to cut it and remelt. But so while it's on pause, I'm going to pick which knot to pull and undo, whichever one looks like it'll come undone the easiest. So okay, so that was actually a pain in the butt. I ended up having to just cut one of my existing knots off because these knots cinch pretty tight on here, and so I was unable to untie that knot. So now I have one off. So if I was going to not be replacing the hooks and just be replacing the rope, what I would do is I have the one knot undone, and then you pull it through, and then you pull it through the hooks as well. See, I got the hooks down on the ground there. They can stay down there, that's fine, because whether you place the knots with the string or the hooks, you still got to take the hooks off no matter what. And the hooks are all I am replacing. So there it is. So now, if I were to be replacing the string, which I'm not in this case, if I were, I would just go ahead and pull the string out and then get your new length of string figured out, put a single knot in it and feed it back through here. So let's just pretend this is a new string. I got my knot tied in, now I feed it through, and now I go and pull the one side up tight. I think when I originally replaced the string, there were a couple little plastic sleeves down inside the counterboard down here for the rope to go through. I had trouble getting the replacement cord through those plastic sleeves, so I was confident that I could get these knots big enough to not be a problem. So if you have a plastic sleeve around your cord, can't get it through, don't worry about it. Just make sure you're diligent in making sure the knot is big enough to never be able to go through, to get pulled through, because you don't want this thing coming apart when you're cranking. And that's also the reason for the pre-wraps. That's why I counted 7 pre-wraps from how I had done it before. The pre-wraps help keep enough tension holding it in place, so that way even if that way it just minimizes the amount of load that's on the knot. It just keeps it wound tight around the spool, and that holds things in place. So that's the reason for the pre-wraps. So now what I'm going to do is feed through these new heavier duty hooks through the rope, and then I'll resume recording after that. Okay, so now I got these new hooks, these 4x4 Kocker from Dr Stirrup heavy duty hooks. I got those threaded through the cord, and with these ones, they have left and right side, so these ones I had to make sure they went on the right way. So I got the openings facing up in relationship to the crank and how it'll go on the crossbow, and I got the little those pieces to the outside. So I got that. Right now I'm going to end up feeding it through the crank again and put a couple knots in and burn the ends. That's what I'll be doing next. Okay, so I got that fed through and the knot tied. I actually had to cut it. It was just too much of a pain. I maybe said that before, doing all this in one take. So I'm not super happy with how I did the end of it. I got more of a tail past the knot than I wanted, but this inner knot is the one that that it depends on. I wanted to get it up close to that single knot at the end, but it'll be fine. So now you can see I got it pulled tight, and I got switch hands. See, I got the hooks on there in the right direction, facing up, left and right side correct for the 4x4 Kocker hooks. So now I will do the pre-winds, and that's where having the 2 handles helps with that, but it'll be fine. So I can just do one side at a time. So I'll get these pre-wrapped 7 per side, and then I'll resume the video after that. I'll do one side first. Okay, so you can see that I have 7 full pre-wraps on that side. Now I'll go and pre-wrap this side. Okay, so now I got 7 pre-wraps on each side, and the reason that this matters on the Charger EXT is because of the blue caps, because once the blue cap is on, right now this is basically extended all the way. I think I got this pulled. Let me pull on the cord. It's pretty much at the limit of full extension, so maybe it might have one more revolution to go, so it might end up with 6. But anyways, yeah, the reason this matters is because of the blue caps for when they're installed, when it's extended all the way with the number of wraps. So then once I put them on, full extension, when it hits the stops inside, should have the same number of wraps on it when I use it on a crossbow with a longer draw like my Vortex. So now what I'll do is I'll put the blue caps back on, and then we'll give this thing a test, and I can show you what I mean by that. The number of pre-wraps at least. All right, so here we are. We got it spooled back up. Sorry, excuse the garage heater fan noise, but I'm going to keep going here because I got a kid waking up. But you can see these heavy-duty hooks, and you can see how much more heavy-duty they are, and they got that extra pulley, extra roller down on the inside. So I think these are going to be good. Since when I cock my crossbow back, sometimes I got to get my face right behind things and kind of gets in the danger zone, so I didn't feel real confident doing that with seeing some reports of these hooks breaking on some of the heavier draw weight crossbows that Excalibur has. So but I love the Charger EXT. I think it's a superior silent cranking device, one of the best ones out there. So anyways, you can see I got the hooks on. I don't really care that they don't fit on these retainer things well. Just doesn't matter to me. I don't really use them. I throw the thing in the bag. I leave the rope even a little out sometimes and have it locked in the cock position, so that's no big deal to me. You can see everything's hooked up right. The hooks are in the right orientation. Things retract nice even with this longer cord. You can see there's still plenty of spool space on each spool. I wish Excalibur included longer cords with these, so guys with the old wide limbers could retrofit their stocks to put them on, because it works. I've done it, but I did have to buy this longer piece of cord. It's BCY crossbow crank cocking cord. It's more than strong enough for what we're doing here. So now you'll watch when I extend this out. I got to get a different hand on it. 1 second. Okay, so when I extend this out to the point of even like my Bulldog 400, which is a pretty long draw, see I'm going all the way, and there I'm at the stop, and my pre-wraps, I think I must not have had it all the way. Maybe that's why it had 7 before. Maybe I wasn't quite all the way. I thought I was when I put the handles in, but maybe not. So I got 5. I'm happy with that. We're good. This will be able to reach the cord no problem, or reach the bowstring no problem, and still got plenty of pre-wraps on here to not put too much load on the end knots. So that's pretty much it. Replace the hooks, replace the cord, put a longer cord in whenever you got to do. This is how you do it. Sorry the video is so long, but it's not a fast process, but it's also not a difficult process. Just got to take it step by step, and that is it.